Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel. You are looking at my still under overhaul, not yet complete, Pfaff model number 6. It's not often I have a Pfaff on the channel or a Pfaff in my hands to work on, so those of you who are Pfaff fans hopefully will enjoy this because you don't get to see it very often. The one I wanted to show you today, though, has to do with something I observed when I got this machine. Not only is it not very common for me to work on Pfaffs, not because I have anything against them, there are lots of reasons, most of which has to do with there are just fewer of them. Pfaff was a brand that did not, it sold well, it's very well known, one of the most famous of the German sewing machine brands, but it didn't sell in North America at the same level, of Singer or White, for example. And I noticed something about this machine. I want you to look closely at this machine, the whole thing. There's something unusual about this, not just because I've never had a Pfaff 6 before, that's true, but look closely. I want you to think about the many times I've shared with you about a Singer sewing machine and the things that Singer did to keep old models in production while they introduced new models. So in the vintage sewing world, Singer sewing machines for generations had the same footprint or dimensions to the sewing bed. The bed, of course, is the flat surface here. For those of you who are new to sewing machines, it's the flat surface. Your fabric goes across it. It's basically the floor. It's not the very bottom, but the floor that you see when your sewing machine is being used. Now, Singer developed a standard set of dimensions that would hold for generations. Okay, so let's see if we can get this up a little higher. And then we'll tilt it. Now, the classic dimensions for Singer sewing machines were 7 inches deep, right, by 14 3/4 inches wide. Now, if you were going to buy a sewing machine and it was not a Singer, let's say imagine you're in a retailer and you're excited. We have this German sewing machine, and it's built wonderfully, and it's the 1950s, and people are starting to get German products in North America, for example, the Volkswagen Beetle, and there's association with quality, and that was well deserved at that time. So what you're seeing here is Pfaff entering. Pfaff had been in the North American market, but of course any manufacturer, whether it was Pfaff or Necki, or just about any company, any brand, if you wanted to compete and get, say, someone who had a Singer and they were going to buy a new machine or they were replacing their machine, you had a tough sell. Now, why was that? Why is it so tough to convert people? Not just because they were loyal to the Singer brand, and many people they knew had Singer. Singer was the largest brand on the planet, okay? The largest maker and seller of sewing machines in the world, and had been for quite some time. So Pfaff, which of course was a German company and was very popular in Germany and perhaps some other countries in Europe, they're trying to sell in North America. I've talked to you all about this before with the Necki brand from Italy. So let's say Pfaff has machines on display. Remember that sewing machines came standard with a case. You did not get a table. The tables were going to be extra. Well, if Pfaff had a separate dimension that was different than Singer's, not only were they going to try to sell you a competing brand of sewing machine, you would have had to have purchased a whole new table. And that was a deal breaker. Remember how costly these things were. And the tables were beautiful. They were well built. And the companies that wanted to penetrate the North American market, They found the largest seller in North America and the world, Singer, and thought, we have a different machine design. We have our own special stuff. But one thing we can sort of co-opt are the bed dimensions. So the bed dimensions of this Singer number 6 and the bed dimensions of almost every sewing machine on the planet during the golden era of vintage machines that I've referred to until we get into the 1960s had the same bed dimensions as a Singer. They sometimes would copy Singer's class 15 design, but these were original designs. This Pfaff is not a Singer. It shares a bobbin type, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, you could say to the customer, hey, don't worry, you have a Singer table, that's great. You don't have to buy a Pfaff table. The Pfaff tables were lovely too. But again, you have one. It was expensive. You've taken care of it. And I'm not changing over my brand of sewing machine just because you've got a different size, because I have a table, and you can just hear the customer pushing back. Well, Pfaff, like Neki, like the Japanese, all those Japanese clones, they knew this. And so they made their dimensions to fit the Singer. Now, the classic Singer dimensions were 14 3/4 wide by 7 inches deep. But as some of you know, in the 1950s, Singer, at the beginning of that decade, they'd come out with the Singer 301, but then they followed that with the 400 series, the 401, right? And there were other models in the 400 series. And then the 500 series, what some of you call the Rocketeer. So those machines that was the first time that Singer changed their dimensions. Those dimensions would remain 7 inches deep, but the width changed, right? So now you went from 14 and maybe it was 14 and a half. Did I say 14 3/4? I misspoke. 14 and a half inches wide by 7 was the classic, right? But the new one I have here is 16 and a half. So the people at Pfaff were smart. They knew, okay, Singer's dimensions had changed. Now, what might confuse some of you, if you've ever come across a Singer table that the machine is gone. Sometimes you'll see advertised, hey, have a sewing table, if they know it's a sewing table. And there's no machine, but here's the table. Maybe it's, they're going to sell it. Usually you don't pay that much for them. Sometimes you will see a Singer table, and you'll know it was a Singer table because even though the machine is gone, the opening is 14 and a half inches, except there's a black, it's almost always black. There's a very thick steel plate right here on the side. Well, that was put here by Singer because Singer was very well known for keeping sewing machine designs in production long after they had been introduced. So you could go into a sewing dealer, a Singer dealer, and you could look at the latest Singer 401 with all the built-in cams. You've seen that machine on my channel a number of times. And at the same time, you could get a Singer, any number of Singer models. The 15 class was still in production, and it was, of course, the 14 and a half by 7 dimension. Well, what was Singer to do? Well, they were clever. They would build sewing tables with the wider dimension, and if they had the classic dimension model that was being sold, you didn't want to miss a sale, so they would sell the older design in the new table. And that's why Singer had that black plate on the side. It was to fill in. If you had a 401 or a 500 Rocketeer that came out after the 400 series, you didn't need the plate. And if you ever see the second dimension, the 1950s widened dimension on Singers, you'll know it was not, if there's no plate there, you don't see a black plate, you don't see any places where it was installed, that's how you know that it was probably, that table was sold with a 400 series machine or later. But back to the Pfaff. So I told you that the sewing machine manufacturers around the world were smart. They wanted to get Singer customers to buy their product. And Pfaff was no different. So, of course, they would size their machines to Singer's classic dimensions. And after they designed it, Singer changed the dimension. Well, if Pfaff took their own tables and cut out a dimension, or excuse me, if Pfaff had a machine that was set up for the classic dimension, and the customer said, well, I've got a Singer table and it's got this 16.5 dimension and I'm not replacing my table, Pfaff had to come up with solutions. So they looked at what Singer did. Singer was still selling classic dimension machines with the new wide opening, and of course there was a black plate. Well, the Pfaff didn't have the black plate, and it would look odd because Pfaff, not all of them, they had black machines, but not all of them were. Well, Pfaff said that's not a problem, and they created their own side plate. Now, what I find, and what I've never seen before, is the fact that when you lift a Singer, or when you lift a Singer that's on the classic dimension, as this machine is, that black plate would stay to the side. It didn't raise up, right? Now, when you folded the Singer down, it would pull. There was a little wedge that would help pull the side plate down so it all went down nice and folded away. But the Pfaff is not set up that way. Let me turn on my flashlight there and show you. So look at this. This plate is essentially, it's like a little extension. Let's zoom in here for you. So look at this. This is interesting to me. So Pfaff basically, you can see, I can get my camera positioned right. You can see here's the edge of the classic dimension, right? The Pfaff is sized to go in a classic Singer opening, but then there's this what is essentially a piece of steel, and there's a bracket. How is this? Okay, it's attached or screwed into the steel here and here, and it basically is like a little shelf. It's a filler, and you want that filler, right? Because if you don't have the filler, then what you end up with is a hole, and that's not acceptable. It was not acceptable, was not going to be acceptable to any customer to have a hole, and not to mention the fact you would drop things down in there. And if some of you may have machines where the plate is not there, or you have, let's say you have a machine that is installed in a table that was designed with the wider dimension, right, Singer dimension number 2, and it was, let's say it held a Singer 400 or 500 series machine. That machine's gone, so now you have a classic dimension model, and you put it in there, and there's a big hole here, and that's not, no one likes that even today. So I just thought this was interesting. I thought it was an interesting and clever solution that the folks at Pfaff came up with, because they were determined to convert you from a Singer fan to a Pfaff fan, and they must have they must have converted some folks, because Pfaff was one of the brands that you could get from Europe. You could get Bernina from Switzerland. There are many people who are Bernina fans, and there are, of course, the Necchis from Italy, and there are others, right? There are many other brands that got to the US and Canada, and I haven't even touched base on the Japanese brands that were flooding the market in the 1950s. So this is kind of a good primer, or a revisit to the whole dimension issue. The good news is, whether the table is a Singer table or was sold by Pfaff, this table was sold by Pfaff, but it was cut. The opening was cut to fit a Singer, right? They wanted to have a standard so they didn't have confusion, and they didn't have to upset customers who were already paying a fortune for this new sewing machine. And, if a customer didn't have a table, or maybe they were a younger couple and they didn't have their own machine, sure, Pfaff certainly sold tables, and they were beautiful, as were the Italian tables from Necchi and so forth. All of the vintage tables, many of them are just incredible pieces of furniture. You could do a whole channel on just sewing table furniture. But again, I've talked to you all before about the Singer dimension and how companies copied it, but I've never seen a company copy the side plate, and the folks at Pfaff did this once upon a time. So again, I've never had a Pfaff number 6 before, and the Pfaff, that lovely gray and white Pfaff from years ago that you see on my channel way back. That came in I believe it came in a case. But if you ever have a sewing table and you find a machine, just do the measurements on the bed of the machine or ask the seller what the measurements are, and you should be able to install it even if it's not a Pfaff table, if it's a Singer table. Sometimes the Singer will install into a Pfaff or a Necki table, sometimes. Now, the key, of course, is that whether your machine is one of the wider ones or with the classic dimensions, the hinge pins should line up in the same place, right? Because Singer didn't want to have hinge pin variation, so the hinges come up in the same spot usually, and everything lines up fine. Those of you who have Neckis, just keep in mind there have been a few occasions when I found that the Neckis, their hinges, the alignment of their hinges was a tad bit off, and I think it has to do with how they did the conversion from metric to imperial measurements, because in Europe they've been using metric for a long time. Anyway, for those of you who are Pfaff fans, or even if you're not, I hope this was helpful, and stay tuned as I go through. I'm working on gradually, hopefully, bringing this long dormant, asleep Pfaff model number 6 back to life, and I hope to see you all in the next video.